presented by the original Radziner Rebbe's
I think he had different points. I don't remember. He should point out this.
It can't be that point, because if that point was but tefillin mit mapich is auch we use tefillin hides for tefillin which are kosher. So this is a proof is not, because by tefillin you use hides which are not for mit mapich but not kosher animal. So we see we can use it. No, yeah. So we see we can use it.
Yeah, but that means to say only that you don't have to have this
material
to be kosher to put into your mouth practically. All you need is that the type
is
of hide you're using, the type of parchment you're using for the animal you're using for this thing has to be kosher, but it doesn't have to be that this very thing should be kosher. Anyways, so maybe you'll try to answer that we have another rule that says that where you have a thing that is a dovet tomei, it's an unkosher thing, not an unkosher, I'm sorry. If you have a thing that is also banoy, like oil or other things, and you want to use it for a thing that is only lechazusa ba'alma, which means it's only to get the sight of the thing, it's not considered that you're having hanor, as the Gemara says, koil mara v'reach, ein ben shemeile. And the Gemara in Baba Kama actually raises this question, and it stays a suffix. Chazusa is milse or lav milse, which means, is it considered, is it significant for us to say that it is considered as if you have a noer, you're having pleasure from the thing, and therefore it's also as orla, or maybe lav milsehi. So the Noid really wants to tie that you might say that over here too as well, the question is no question to begin with, since the tchelis is used only, you don't take the fish and use it as tzitzis, but you're only taking the dye of the tchelis, which is taken out of the non-kosher fish. So therefore, although we certainly need minamuta beficha by all mitzvahs, including tzitzis as well, but if you're only using it in order to get the dye out, to get the blue color, so it's not considered as if there's something soiser to minamuta beficha. That's what the Noida Reader wants to tie it. But later on, he says that this is not it's not a true taina. Why? Because when do you say that chazuse milse or lav milse? When do you deal with this question if it's milse or lav milse? That is only if the chazuse is just a side aspect of the thing. As if you take a table, for instance, and you want to color it and dye it with a paint which is made out of atzeol. So then you could say chazuse. The plain sight of the thing, is it milse or is it not milse? Why? Because the table actually serves as a table to eat upon and to use it as furniture. But actually, the color of the table is just a side aspect of the thing, and it is not the main pleasure you draw out of the thing itself. But here by tzitzis, the techeles is not just stam a plain color, as you say. You could get the different colors as well. You could get red or green. Of course, we need the blue color, and as the Gemara says in Maseches Menachos, that the significance of the blue color is something special, because why did the Torah choose the blue color out of all the colors we know? Because Tchelis is doime liyam, it's similar to the sea, and the sea is similar to heaven, and of course the sky is reminds us that the Rebbeinu Shloim is Melaika Lord's Kvoida, but of course, as you say, Sumor Menechem, like you see the Rebbeinu Shloim. So if so, you can't answer this in this manner to say that it's just a color and it's not significant. Of course it's significant. It makes the whole thing for itself. That's why he says But if you say that it is a kosher fish, then we would have no problem. Okay, this is the Noida Behuda. Noida Behuda wasn't dealing actually about the question of tcheles. He just brings it as a side aspect to prove what he tries to he tries to be mevara a question. In his times, they used to dye the what's it called, the ritzuas of the tefillin. Someone asked him, you make a special color, a special dye, which the dye, of course, halacha l'moshe sinai, the ritzuas of the tefillin, the leather of the tefillin has to be dyed with a black dye. Halacha l'moshe sinai ritzuas shchores. So someone wanted to make the black dye of the ritzuas of the tefillin. He wanted to make it out of some type of color which is non-kosher. It's taken out of it's derived from a non-kosher animal. So what's about menamut b'ficha, whatever. So that's why he brings it as a side aspect. But the Radziner Rebbe, who was very famous as the Balat Chelis, he came to this question since he wanted to find out what type of chilazon do we need and how should it look like and what is it like. So as he handles this question, first of all, he decides that the chilazon was definitely a tama fish. It was a non-kosher fish because of certain proof that he brings. We won't get into because the watch is moving, of course, and we see it as well as you. Okay, and anyways, so if so, he raised the question: what about minamuta b'ficha? What about minamuta b'ficha? So I will just say in short what he says about this question, and maybe if we'll have a minute or two, we'll add some additional aspect on this question, which is very interesting for all of us. First of all, the Radziner Rebbe says that there's no question for minamuta b'ficha. Why? Because as we see, we use this chilazon, which is a non-kosher fish. But what do we use out of this fish? We only use his blood. We don't use the fish for itself, the meat of the fish. We use the blood. Now, the blood of a fish, he brings proof that blood of fish, although we're not allowed to eat it, but it's not considered dover. It's not considered treif minatoyre. Minatoyre. There's two reasons to say why a blood out of a non-kosher fish should be shouldn't be minamuta b'ficha. The first reason you would say, of course, is since it's blood.